Computer Vision Faculty Development Program. Good morning, everyone. I wish all the best for the day 3. Welcome back. Today we are having one eminent researcher, academician, a good person with us, Rana sir from Thapar University. We want to hear the sir's profile from Sharat Tiwari sir. Now I request Sharat Tiwari sir, please introduce the sir's profile to audience.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So, hello everyone. Welcome to today's sessions, the 54th Atal FTP on machine learning and computer vision. Now, today I'd like to introduce today's presenter, Dr. Prashant Singh Rana. He is currently working as an associate professor in computer science and engineering department, Thapar Institute of Engineering Technology and Patiala, Punjab. It is a very good location. So he actually received his PhD and masters from the ABB at IIIT M. Gwalior, and his research area is machine learning and deep learning and bioinformatics, and also working on optimizations. He has a number of publications, more than 70 different papers in various journals, reputed journals, and conferences. He also completed various government sponsored projects from the DST, ICMR, NVIDIA, and some projects are also going on. He also patented more than 10 patents, and he has also a number of PhD students completed. So now he is going on the topic for Bicarrots automated machine learning libraries for regressions, classification, and clustering. So thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us and accepting our invitations. So I will hand over the sessions to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tiwari. Thank you, Usha ma'am. Thank you for the invitation. Okay, good morning all. So before starting, let me share my screen. Okay. Tiwari, my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So before moving forward, so this is a small instruction for all the participants.
Voice is low. If voice is enhanced, it could be much better, sir.
Just wait, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now it is perfect, ma'am.
Now it is fine, sir.
Okay.
Sir, now it is fine.
Okay. So before moving forward, a small instruction for all the participants. I am copy paste the instruction in the chat also. Tiwari, please allow me to write down the chat.
Okay.
My chat is disabled.
Please allow the chat, sir.
Yes, sir. So all the participants, I am requesting all of you kindly go to Google and search for PS Rana GitHub. So this is my GitHub repository. And before moving forward, today's session is completely hands-on practice. And I hope everybody knows the basics of machine learning, what exactly machine learning is, how the data is look like. There are several input parameters, and one column is considered as a target column. So there are two types of machine learning, means supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So today I'm going to cover all the three things: regression, classification, and clustering. And all is completely hands-on practice on Google Colab. Okay, so this is all about the chat. Tiwari, I am still not able to write in the chat.
Okay, sir.
Anil?
Yes, madam.
Please give the permission to sir.
I have given, madam.
Yes. Right now it is okay, sir. So class, I am just pasting all the instructions in the Google in the chat. So if you miss, you can refer to the chat also. So first go to GitHub. Whenever you go for Google, just write for PS Rana GitHub. So kindly follow all the instructions and be with me. So you will find, and just click on the this first link, PSGana GitHub. After clicking on this link, you will find you will be redirected to my GitHub repository, and there is a link with the name machine learning using PyCaret. So this is all about the first step. Go to Google and search for PSGana GitHub. Then click on machine learning using PyCaret. So this is all about machine learning using PyCaret. And you will find there are 3 files: PyCaret for regression, PyCaret for classification, and PyCaret for clustering. Okay, so this is all about the thing that you should know. Now, before moving forward, let me first introduce what is PyCaret. So PyCaret is nothing but a bundle of many machine learning models. Means, let's suppose we want to compare multiple machine learning models. Let's suppose we want to compare 5 machine learning models on my data set. Then I need to implement all these models one by one. First, we need to import the library, then we call the function, and then we divide the data into train and test, then we evaluate and we generate the matrices. But PyCaret, it is just in PyCaret, only 3 lines of code are required to compare multiple models. Means there are 20 models are there, and only 3 lines of code are required to just compare multiple machine learning models on different evaluation parameters. Okay, so this is all about the PyCaret. So let's move forward. So I paste the instruction in the chat also. So those who joined late, please follow the instructions and be with me. Okay. Now, after clicking on very first PyCaret for regression. Okay, just click on this link. You will redirect to this repository. This is the complete hands-on practice that we are going to perform today. Okay, so in this example, we are going to work with regression. And before moving forward, kindly mute yourself. Yes. So before moving forward, let me first introduce you about the different data set. Okay, so there are multiple data set that is available for machine learning, means regression data set and classification data. So let me just briefly give you a brief idea what exactly how data is look like. Just give me 1 minute. Slides and sample data. Yes. So class, I hope from the last 2 days, you all are know about what machine learning is, how exactly the things are going on, how to build a model and how to make the predictions. If you are aware of these things theoretically, then we are going to perform how to exactly we need to perform it practically. Okay. So before moving forward, let me first, it is just a 5-minute presentation so that I can introduce you to the data set. So class, let's suppose we have a class of 100 students, and this is a chemistry lab class, and there are 3 chemicals, X1, X2, X3, X3 are chemical, and different students are making these chemicals in different composition and combined together and joined and mixed together, and finally the precipitate color is green. Next student mixed different quantities and he is getting yellow color. Next student getting different combinations and he is getting the blue. So let's suppose there are only 3 possibilities, okay, for all the precipitate color. So now this is the data set that we are getting, okay, through experiments. Now after getting this data, my E column, my color column is my target column, okay, and that contain only 3 values, means that is a data set of classification. Okay, so there are 2 type of problem in classification: binary classification and multi-class classification. So basically the class that contain only 2 variables, true, false, 1, 0, that will be considered as a binary classification, and more than 2 it will be considered as a that will be considered as a multi-class classification. Now, so let's suppose we have this data set and X1, X2, X3 are my dependent variable, sorry, independent variable, and my color is a dependent variable. Now, so after getting this data, we are going to build a model. that model will able to predict for the new one. Let's suppose a different combination will come, then what should be the color? So my model is able to predict what should be the color, and that is the advantage of predictions. The biggest advantage is that there is no need to make the experiment. Okay, my model will able to predict what color should be there for this new combination. Okay, so this is the very basic about machine learning. Now next, I am just discussing only 3 data set with you. So let's suppose this is another data set that consists of multiple columns and multiple columns are there. Now, this is all about the data set. So this is the data set of protein quality, and that is measured in terms of RMSD. Okay, so this is a data set of my PhD work where I calculate why I need to predict the quality of a protein. Now, protein is just the protein that is available with our in the nature. Okay, so that consists of multiple features like what is the area, what is the Euclidean distance, what is the energy, SS, residual length, and pair number. And very first column is my target column. Now, as you see, the target column is just a real values. Okay, continuous values are there. Means that is the data set of regression. So I hope everybody knows what is the classification problem and what is the regression problem. So I'm just giving.
Sorry for the interruption, sir. Could
Yes,
you?
ma'am.
This is a variant set of groups, sir. Please give some introduction and go ahead, sir. Very good. Very good. A few introduction.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, if you want, so I am just explaining the how is the data set look like. So this is a data set in which very first column is my target column. Target column is the value that we need to predict. Okay, so value is of real types, means continuous values are there. Now, if I press Control down arrow, so there are nearly 16,000 rows are there. Okay, so my
काय झाले सांगतो माझ्यावर जो
so this data set is of regression data set. If my target column values are of real values, continuous value, and remaining all are my inputs. Okay, so now again we are doing the same thing. We should make the model. After that, a new feature will come. Let's suppose this is a feature I give to the model, and model will able to predict what should be the RMSD. So this is all about the basics of machine learning. If we have some experimental data, we need to build a model, and that model will able to predict for the new one. Okay, so I'm just going you some slides so that you can just more know about the machine learning. Okay, so before moving forward, this is a very basic screenshot of Gmail, where my email are classified into 3 parts: primary mail, social mail, and promotional mail. Okay, so now Google developed the system that will automatically classify this is your primary mail, this is your secondary mail, and this is your promotional mail. Okay, but this is the system sometimes give you the not good result. Sometimes your spam email landed in your primary email, and sometimes your important mail landed in your spam folder. So in that condition, the system that developed by the Google will not able to take the good decision. Okay, so yaniki means in the machine learning we need to develop a system that will take some decision. Okay, in this example, my system will able to predict it is of which type of email is there. It is a primary mail, social mail, or promotional mail. Now, let me introduce with a second example. Let's suppose I search for on YouTube Mohammad Rafi Saab, and in the right hand side it gives me the different suggestions. Okay, so means this is just an example of recommendation system. Next example, let's suppose I search for Google News, and here I search for, let's suppose if Arvind Kejriwal. So it accumulate all the links that is tagged with the Arvind Kejriwal, and it will just store here like 15 new sources are there. So that is an example of clustering, means grouping. Okay. So now for the machine learning, the branch of AI that gives you computer to learn without being explicitly programmed. So explicitly program means, let's suppose we write a program of 2 plus 2. It always give me the result 4. Okay. But let's suppose we want to write a program for autonomous car. Okay. We cannot feed the pre-process at the right time, means after 4 kilometer, you need to brake, you need to take a break. Okay. After 4 minutes, after 4 minutes of drive, you need to press an horn. After 6 minutes, you need to take a right turn. So we cannot explicitly program there. We need to make the decision at simultaneously at the runtime. Okay. The next definition of branch is of AI about to construct a system learned from data. So all the example of data set that I give to you. So we have the data set. We need to build a system, and that will able to make the decision. Okay. So this is all about the very basic about machine learning. But let me introduce about some example like email classification. It is a spam, non-spam. Let's suppose everybody make the transactions. So we want to make a predictions that transaction is fraud or genuine. We are diagnosing a patient. It is a diabetic or non-diabetic, and we want to classify a gene that is considered as a coding gene and non-coding gene. Okay. So now this is the overall picture of my machine learning model. Our machine learning is classified into 2 parts, supervised and unsupervised. Now, unsupervised means we don't have the target column, means we don't have any label data. So that will be an example of clustering, and that comes under unsupervised learning. Again, in supervised learning, it is classified into 2 parts, classification problem or regression problem. So I already discussed with you, in regression, we need to predict the real values, and in classification, we need to predict the discrete values. Okay. So I hope everybody knows this is the basic idea about machine learning. Now, let me take you some basics idea about. Now, these are some very well-known common models for machine learning, like decision tree, random forest, support vector machine, linear model, and neural network. So today we are going to practice all these models in practical, how to implement in just 3 lines of code, and how to make a decision which model is better for my data set. Okay. And this is all about the very basic about linear model. So linear model is nothing but a simple equation where x1, x2, x3, x4, up x5, these are independent variables, and w1 to w5 all are the associated weights. So it is just a linear equation that we studied in class 9th and 10th. This is the equation. We need to put the values for the x1 to x5, make the calculation, and that will be considered as a predicted values. Okay. Now next is decision-based model. So it is just a binary classification. So we need to just compare our different features, and we need to design a tree. So that tree contain a root node and contain intermediate nodes, and in the bottom they contain as a leaf nodes. Okay. So I hope everybody know how exactly tree is working. So whenever a new data will come, first my x1 feature will compare, after that my x2 feature will compare, after that my x3 feature compare, and simultaneously my next all the feature will compare. And in the bottom, in the leaf node, my decision is there. Similarly, this is all about the basic architecture of neural network. So that contains some hidden input variables, contain hidden layers, and some output variables. Okay. Now, this is all about the very basic about machine learning. If we have some experimental data, after that we need to build a model, and we need to make the prediction on the new input data set. Okay. So this is a very basic idea. Now, in this workshop, in this session, we are going to how exactly we need to build a data set. Sorry, how to build a machine learning models. So now, before moving forward, I am just pasting the instruction in the chat so that who joined late, kindly follow the instruction and come up with the GitHub repository. So this is the data set that we required for my machine learning model. So x1 to x4, all my input variables, and x5 output is my target column. Means I need to make, this is the target column. Target column is nothing but the column that we need to predict the values. So this is the step number 1, experimental data set. Next, we need to build a model. So let's suppose we build a model of using this data set, and this is my model. Okay, this is my model. Now this is these weight like 6, 9, 6, 10, 5. So these are the optimized weight that is come up with the equations after optimize and finding the parameters. So this is all about the model that we need to develop. Okay. Next, let's suppose a new data set will come for x1, x2, x3, x4. Then we need to predict what should be the output. So simply क्या करने का है? We need to put all the input variables to the equation, evaluate the equation, find out the solutions. So let's suppose output is 41, means on this input, my model is able to predict the output is 41. So that is a very basic idea about machine learning. Now next, let me give you a very next example about the data set. So I'm just going to finish in next 5 minutes. After that, we are going to move forward for the practical part. But before moving and before explaining, you should be clear with the data set. So now class, this is again the same data set. If I press control down arrow, so there are nearly 16,000 data set is available. Again, I am pressing control up arrow. After that, now what I did here, I make the target column round off. Okay, so my all the values are become discrete. So now this is the data set of my classification. Earlier, this data set is of my regression because the value that is available in the RMSD are of continuous values, real values are there. So class, if you have a regression data set, means you can produce 2 research papers. Okay, by applying regression models on the regression data set. Now make the transformation in the data set, make it as a classification data set. Now apply different classification models and generate the results so that you can produce second research paper. So this is all about the data set. Now just I am going to discuss 2 important data set, and you will get more about the how exactly the data set look like. So class, this is a data set of a wine quality. Okay, and control down arrow. So there are nearly 5,000 data set is available. 5,000 rows is there, and every row is a property of one wine. Okay, means this is a data set of nearly 5,000 wines. Now, very first column is fixed acidity, volitic acidity, citric acid, blah blah blah. Last में quality. So means every quality, every wine is labeled with this quality parameter. So means this is quality. This time my quality is my target column. Okay. Now, simply very first objective is to identify what is the type of the data set. So as you are seeing, this is the discrete values. So that contain 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So only these are the labels that is available with the quality. So either any wine is of 4, means lowest quality, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. 9 is the highest quality. Means all the wines are labeled with this 6 labels only. So if you can count these labels, that will be considered as a classification problem. Okay. Now, so again, we are doing the same thing. We will build a model, means to K, all my input variables, and my L column, quality column, is my target column. So we are going to build a model. Okay. Now that model will be helpful when, let's suppose, a new wine will come in the market. Okay, and we want to predict the quality. Okay, so first we need to calculate all the features, give to the model, and model will able to predict what is the quality. Okay, before moving forward, I want to know how the quality is quantified. Class, anyone? Means how quality is decided. You can write your answer in the chat also. Please make it interactive so that you will love the practical part. And if you have any issue, you may ask, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question, or you can also write in the chat. So how exactly quality is decided? Anyone? Okay, no issues. So quality is decided by the wine testers. So they are a specialized group of people. They are recruited as a wine testers. So they smell, they taste, they make some small experiment, and after they decided, okay, now this is the quality. Okay, so they have their different fundas, okay, how exactly quality is decided. Now, so what I did, and these experts are not associated and not focuses on these physicochemical property. They are not bothered about how much pH is there, how much sulfate is there, how much alcohol is there. They never thought about these conditions. They just smell, taste, and just see the gestures, see the different experiments, and after that they decided the quality. The most important thing is that experts never come for free. Okay, they charge huge amount of money. Okay, so means expert आया भी, पी के भी चला गया, and पैसे भी ले गया. Okay, but this is the most important information that he left with us. Now, what exactly we did? We calculate all the physicochemical properties, and I make the quality associated with every wine quality. Okay, so now this is a data set that is ready with us. Now again, we need to build a model, and that model will able to identify, predict the quality of the unknown wine. The biggest advantage of building this model is that whenever a new wine will come, there is no need to call the expert. This model will able to make the decision. Okay, so class, this is all about the data set. Okay, now if you have any question, query, you may ask, please. Class, please be interactive here. Okay, no issues. So now we are going to move forward for the practical part. Okay, now this is all about the instructions. First, go to Google Drive, search for PS Ghana GitHub. After that, where is my pages? Go to Google page, search for PS Ghana GitHub. After that, whenever you click on this link, just click on this link and then click on machine learning using PyCaret. And this is all about the 3 notebook, and we are going to practice on Google Colab. So click on very first link, regression. So whenever you click on the regression, just click on the window. So this is all the practical things that we are going to perform today. Okay, so now you need to just click on open in Google Colab. So I'm requesting all of you, kindly click on the Google Colab. Okay, so there are a few questions. Pooja, basically it depends on the domain in which we are working. So in my point of view, minimum 500 data is sufficient for building a model. Okay, so now just click on the open in Google Colab. So open in a Google Colab, so I just click on the Google Colab. So this window will appear. So right now I am not logging. So I am just signing in. Sign in with any of your Google account. So I am signing with my Google account.
So please show the screen, na?
Share
the screen, sir.
My screen is not visible.
Visual, sir. Visual.
Now it's visible, sir.
So now it send me some instruction. Yes. So just click on open in Google Colab, and it automatically open like this window. Yes. There are few steps that we are going to follow here. So class, what exactly initially, what is very first phase? Data collection. So we have the data. After that, we divide the data into two parts, training and testing part. Okay. So generally the ratio is 70-30, means 70% data will be go for training part and remaining 30% data will go for testing part. Okay. So in the training part, we need to compare multiple models. And after that, we will find which model is the best one. And that will make the prediction on the testing data. Okay. And we need to compare how exactly the model performance is. Okay. So class, again, I hope everybody knows what Google Colab is. If nobody knows Google Colab, then let me introduce very first. Google Colab is one of the very important platform supported by Google, and that is just a notebook. So it is a browser-based environment where we can run our machine learning models, and that is completely based on Python. Okay, so there is no need for installing any package, no need to install any software. You can write your program in the browser-based environment. Okay, so I hope everybody is open in the Google Colab. Okay, so class, there are a few resources that I want to share with you. So this is all about the tutorial part. If you click on the tutorial, you will find it will move forward you to the PyCaret package. So classification, regression is there, clustering is there. So all these three things I am going to cover today, but you can also explore the PyCaret for anomaly detection, NLP process, and association rule mining. Okay, so these are the few operations that you can perform. Now, again, there is a very good documentation available. So if you click on the documentation part, it will redirect you to the PyCaret package. So this is all about the documentation for the PyCaret. Okay, and it will be completely the all the details in all the explanation in detail way. What is a different function? How exactly you need to call the functions? What are the different parameters? So now you don't worry about all these things. Just come up with me. So in this tutorial, we are going to come up. These are the learnings for objective for today's session, like how to get the data, how to set up the parameter, how to create a model, plot the model, finalize the model, how to make the prediction, and how exactly we need to save and load the model. Okay. So class, just come to A part. Okay. So class, those who can know how to work on Google Colab, so there is only one step process is there, Control Enter. You need to press Control Enter. Okay. So there are two things. Number one, this is just a text part. So there is no need to click on the text part, just click on the code part. So very first step is to install the PyCaret. Okay. So just click on this line and press Control Enter. Now, whenever you are going to press Control Enter, it is asking this notebook was not authorized by Google because it is located in my Google Drive and you are not authorized. But again, just click on Run Anyway. So now what exactly is going to happen? It will directly copy the Google Drive notebook from my Google Drive to your drive. So next time this Jupyter notebook is by default available with you in your Google Drive. So class, this is the very first step. We are installing the PyCaret package. So class, exclamation sign pip. So pip is a utility that is used to install a package. After that, install PyCaret. So there is no need to do anything. It automatically install the PyCaret in your Colab environment. Kindly mute yourself. So it may take nearly one minute. And one more important instruction for you: whenever if you want to rerun your code, then again you need to install the package again. Okay. Basically, we are not going to save the environment. So whenever if you want to install any package, Again, if you want to try for tomorrow, day after tomorrow, then you need to perform this action again. Okay. Now, one more important thing about Colab, there are two important buttons. Number one, code. If you click on the code, a new shell will appear. So let's suppose I am writing 2 plus 2 and pressing Control Enter. So it automatically execute and it give you the 4. So let's suppose I want to print any message like hello world. Just press print and hello world. So this is all about the very basic idea about how exactly we need to work on notebook. Okay. So if you want to delete this particular shell, the delete option is there. Now, one more important thing, if you want to run the complete notebook, then go to run all. So there are two terms. Number one, run all, and restart and run all. So let's suppose you are facing some issue again and again, then you need to go for restart and run again. All the code will start rerun from the starting. Okay. So class, this notebook contains the result part also. If you are not able to run the code, then you can just explore the result part. So class, this is the very first step, installing the PyCaret. Now next, I want to know what is the version of my PyCaret. So just press Control Enter. Okay. So I am importing my utils package, and there is a function with the name version. Okay, I am importing and I am just passing version bracket star bracket close. So that is just calling a simple function, and it's give me 2.3.1. So this is the latest version of PyCaret that we are working with, but it is in the progress of upgrading. So after every 2 months or 3 months, they release with the new version. Okay. So now before moving forward, Dr. Jyoti, you need to log in with the Google account. So just select any one of your Google account to which you want to log in. Okay. So I hope everybody is with me. Kindly write your answer in the chat here. Yes, no. Okay. Thank you, Divya. Thank you, Pooja. Okay. That suggests that you are in the live mode. So class, this is the very 2 steps that we just run. We are installing PyCaret package, and we are getting what is the version of PyCaret we are using. So class, I make all the things are very, very simple to you. You need to press just Control Enter and don't skip any of the step. Okay. So now come to very first part, regression basics. So now moving for 1.1, loading the data set. So class, PyCaret is a package that come up with some by default data set. Okay, there are nearly 55 data set that is by default available with the PyCaret. So we are going to use these data set that is available with the PyCaret. Okay. So now, so what I just press Control Enter 1.1. So we are just importing one function with the name get_data. Okay, and we are importing from PyCaret.datasets. Okay, so we are just importing one function, and that function will help us to get the data of our choice. Now come to 1.2. Now if I'm saying 1.2, so don't click on 1.2, just come up a step down from 1.2. So I am just press dataset equal to get data. So get data is a function that we recently imported, and I am passing index. So just press Control Enter. So you will find a long list of data set that is available with the PyCaret. Okay, so there are nearly 55 data set. Yes, 55 data set is available with the PyCaret. Okay, now next, let me first introduce what the data set is look like. So there is a name of the data set means anomaly, France, bank, blood, cancer, credit card is there, diabetes data set is there, electrical grid is there, employees, heart disease, hepatitis, income, wine. Okay, that data set that I discussed with you, Titanic, glass. So n number of data set is available. After that, what is the data type? So there are two types, multivariate and univariate. So multivariate is nothing but where multiple inputs are considered. The data set that I just shown to you of wine, of protein. So multiple inputs are there, means multiple independent variables are there and one output is there. So that is considered as a multivariate. Okay. Now next term is univariate. So in the univariate term, one input, one output. Okay. So let me explain, give you a very good example of univariate. If somebody asks you, okay, can you explain the univariate with the example? So every transaction, there is a OTP. Okay. So for every transaction, there is one OTP. So 1:1 ratio is there. Okay. So that is the best example of univariate, means one input, one output. Okay. So for every transaction, there is a one OTP. So this is the best example of univariate. Okay. Now next is, what is the default task we want to perform? So let's suppose anomaly detection, association mining, classification is there. Again, if you move forward, classification multi-class is there, clustering is there, and in the last you will find regression data set is there. Okay. So there are 55 by default data set that is available in the PyCaret. Next is target column, means what is the target column? Okay, like in this example, invoice, deposit, class, default, blah blah. Target variable, instances is there. Instances means number of rows, and attributes number of columns. Okay, so means if somebody asks what is the dimension of a data set, so you should know what is the dimension. Dimension means we need to define what is the number of rows and what is the number of columns. Okay, so this is all about the things. Yes. Now come to, this is step number 2. Now move forward, come to 1.3. Just scroll down. So class, we are working with the data set with the name Boston. So just press 1.3, control enter. Just click on 1.3, Boston. Now class, let's suppose we want to use any data set. So Boston data set is available with the sequence number 46. So where is 46? So this is all about 46. Yes, 46 is there. So I just pass Boston. If you want to work with the bike, so just pass bike. If you want with the automobile, so just pass automobile. So now this is a multivariate data set. It is the operation of, it is a data set of regression, sorry, a Boston. Now MEDV, that column name is my target, and that consists of 506 rows and 14 columns are there. Okay, so class, this is the data set that we are going to work. But if you want to pick any other data set, like concrete data set is there, diamond data set is there, energy data set is there, forest data set is there, then you can just use that particular data set. So you need to just pass the variable name here. Okay, let's suppose I want to work with the traffic. So just pass traffic. Okay, so I'm using the function with the name get data. I pass Boston, and this is just a glimpse of the data set. So just press control enter. Okay, so as I mentioned, last column MEDV is my target column. So you clearly see the values are of real type. Okay, so means this is a data set of regression. So class, this is the regression data set. Now if you want to work with your another data set, so this is the way you need to change. Kindly mute yourself. Yes, Now class, this is all about the by default data set that is available with the PyCaret. But let's suppose you want to work with your data set, with your own data set. So you need to read your own file. So here I am using I am making the comment, but this is for your information. Let's suppose you want to work with your own data set and you want to know how to read my file. So I'm using a pandas, import pandas as PD. And next there is a function with the name read CSV. And this is the, let's suppose my file name is myfile.csv. So this time this file will be read and assigned to the Boston or any other variable name. Okay, so this is all about the data set that we need to read. So class, in the PyCaret part, this is the very first step, because I told you this is a 3 line of code. In the very first step, we are going to read the data set. That's it. Now come to 1.4. In the 1.4, we are going to set some parameters like what is the training testing partition, what is the sampling size. Now we need to perform any normalization, transformation, PCA. So these are the operations that we want to perform. But right now we are not pre-process the data set. We are just using the by default parameter of PyCaret. Kindly mute yourself. Perfect, thank you. So class, this is the setup. This is the step number 1.4. So from PyCaret, I am importing one library with the name regression. Okay, so regression library is there. Similarly, classification library is there. Similarly, clustering library is there. And we are going to cover all these library after this session. So now we are working with the regression. So we are importing my regression library. Okay, so class, there is a function with the name setup. Okay, we are just importing one function. Setup function is there, and that required only 2 parameters. Minimum 2 parameter means what is the data set? So data set is Boston data set. The data set we just read in step number 1.3, Boston data set. This is the data set we just read. Okay, next, what is the target column name? So as you know, target column name is MEDV. So I put it in a single quote. So this is the minimum information you need to provide. Means what is the target, what is the table name, what is the data set name, and what is the target column name. This is the minimum information that you need to provide every time. Okay, so just press Control Enter. So setup means we are just setting some parameters for my different machine learning models, because here we are going to compare nearly 16, 17 models. Okay, so these are the parameters that is set, but specifically I will explain all these parameters in detail, but after a few examples. So you need to just keep in your mind, this is step number 2. We need to set up some parameters. Okay, now move forward. Come to 1.5. So this is a 3rd line of code. We need to run and compare the model. So there is a function with the name compare_model. So this is just a function. So just press Control Enter. Just press Control Enter. Now what exactly it is doing? It is comparing multiple machine learning models on different evaluation parameters. So I hope in the audience, most of you know what are the different evaluation parameters for regression, like mean absolute error, mean square error, root mean square error, R square value, and multiple models there. So class, this is the comparative performance study of multiple machine learning models on different evaluation parameters. Okay, so now this is the 3-step process. I hope everybody finds it is the very easiest job to compare the machine learning model. Now class, in the back end, they implemented all the models that is available with the scikit-learn, because if you want to implement any of the model, then you need to import scikit-learn, then you need to call the function, then you need to divide the data set. So they make all the things is very, very simple in just 3 lines of code. Okay, so I hope you love this technique, you love this code, you love PyCaret, because nowadays just comparing the machine learning model is just become a three line of code. And all my first year students, BTech first year students, they know each and everything of PyCaret. Okay. So if you have any question, query, you may ask in the chat also. Okay. Now class, this is a comparative performance study and it's sorted according to the value of R square. Okay. So it's come to 0.84 and that is considered as a good R square value. Okay. So now the next is it compare multiple models. So nearly 16, 17 models are there, like extra tree regressor, gradient boosting, random forest, light GBM, ADA boost, decision tree, linear model. So it compare all the models and sorted according to what should be the R square value. So I hope everybody understand this concept. Class, please write in the chat. Are you getting something? Yes, no? Perfect, perfect. Very good, very good. Now there are a few questions. Dr. Jyoti, if you're not able to get the data set, just execute the above lines also. And Dr. Raji, you're talking about medical image data set. Now, if you convert your image data set into matrix form, then you can easily you can easily apply PyCaret because it required the data set in the matrix form only. Okay, so try to explore, try to extract the data set from image and try to put in the matrix form only. Otherwise, PyCaret will not work for images directly. Now, Usha Gupta, you're talking about what is the target parameter. So I already explained you in step number when I working with the data set, Boston data set, my target column is MEDV. Now, how exactly I know ki MEDV is my target? So whenever I am just getting all the data set get data index. So this is the data set. These are the data set that is available with the PyCaret. Okay. So this is the target column. This will give you the information about the target column. So we are using the Boston data set that is available at the location number 46. This is the Boston data set. And this is my target column. Okay. Now, okay, yes, Dr. SJRK, you're right. We need to compare, just compare underscore model. Will run all the multiple machine learning model and give you the comparative performance study. Yes, Divya, just wait for 10-20 minutes. I am just explaining all these parameters in detail. Okay, but before moving forward, you should know okay, how exactly we need to use these parameters. Okay, so now come to step number 1.5. So I hope everybody is understand ki how exactly we need to install the PyCaret, how to set up the parameter, and how to make the comparison. So class, my input is input data only, and my output is comparative performance study of multiple machine learning models on different evaluation parameters. Okay, chaliye. Now next move forward. Kindly mute yourself, please. Okay, so now come to 1.6. So class, this is a just 3 line of code. Now this time I write the code for insurance data set. Let's suppose you have let's suppose if you just by default click on this in this title bar, just press Control Enter. Sir, just click anywhere in the page. Let's suppose if you just click on this page and this type of window will appear. So just click anywhere in the browser. Okay. So now this is just a 3 line of code for my insurance data set. So class, what I need to do, first I need to get the data set. Okay, so here I am just using the by default data set that is available with the PyCaret. But if you want to work with your own data set, then you need to read your file. Okay, so this is step number 1. In the step number 2, we need to set up the parameter. In the parameter, we need to define the data set name. We just read, and we need to define what is the target column. And third, compare underscore model. So just press Control Enter. 1.6. So this makes the life of a researcher, faculty, students very easy, because we all are struggling how to build a model, how to compare, how to get the results, how to implement, in which platform we need to perform. Okay, so now it is taking, now it is done. So class, in just I think less than 1 minute, we are able to build multiple machine learning models on different evaluation parameters. Okay, so now all the models are sorted according to their R-square value. So this time GBR, gradient boosting regressor, giving me the highest R-square value of 0.86. Similarly, my random forest model, AdaBoost, extra tree regressor, rigid, lasso, multiple models are there. So class, this is the comparative performance study we need to require for my research paper, for my report, for my thesis. Okay, so this become just a 3 line of code. Now move forward. 1.7. So class, again, this is for another data set that is with the name house. So 3 line of code are there. So I am just passing my variable name as house. So it will directly get the data set of house from the PyCaret. Again, next is sales price. This is my target column. And if you run, I'm just skipping the run. I'm just exploring the results. So you will get I'm getting the highest R-square value of 0.85. Okay, I'm not running for the 1.7. So this is the same result. So class, model building is not a rocket science, but we need to make the data set that is able to ready for running the multiple models. So model building is just a 5% work. Okay, nowadays it has become very easy through PyCaret. Another library is available, is AutoML is there. Okay, but nowadays machine learning model has become a job of a kid. If I train a 10 class student, then he will run all the codes. Okay, but the thing is that we need, how exactly we need to pre-process the data, how exactly we need to normalize the data set, and how exactly we need to make it ready, available to the machine learning models. Okay, so now this is all about the insurance data set and house data set. So whenever you want to run for your own data set, just run 3 line of code. Okay, next, so this is all about the very basics part about the PyCaret. Now next is some advanced topic for the for PyCaret. Let's suppose come to 2.1. We want to apply normalization, and we want to know which model gives the best performance. So class, what I did here, I am just passing 2 parameters. Normalize underscore method, sorry, normalize equal to true first, and which method we want to use. So these are the 2 additional parameters that we need to pass. Okay, now first run this code. Just run this code. Just press Control Enter on 2.1. It is again setting some parameter, running multiple models, and it may take 1 minute or maybe maximum up to 2 minutes because data set is small. Yes, we are done. So class, you will find I am getting the R-square value of 0.86. Okay, so now class, normalization, I hope everybody knows what normalization is. We need to scale down or scale up the all the data column, all the data value in a particular defined lower bound and upper bound. Okay, so there are several normalization methods available like z-score. Now if you want to change, another method is min-max. So just replace z-score with min-max, or you want to apply max absolute, just replace with max absolute, or you want to use robust, then replace z-score with robust. So this way you can easily change your normalization method also. Okay, now next important is how exactly you need to come, what are the different evaluation parameters available. Now class, just come to step number 1.4. Not 1.4. Yes. Come to yes 1.4. Just come to step number 1.4, where we set up the parameters. Just come to step number 1.4. Here we call a function with the name setup. So this setup function will set the parameters. So now if you come to the parameter number, yes, 27. So by default, normalization is false. And which normalization method? None. Okay. So we are just making the normalization as a true and normalization method as z-score. Similarly, in the next example, we are going to cover with the transformation, PCA, removing of outlier. Okay. So these are the parameters that we are going to set. Now come back to 2.1. Yes. Come back to 2.1. Now class, if you know more about the setup function, so just copy the setup, move to the manual that is available with the regression, search for the setup function. So this is all about the setup function. So by default, my training size is 0.7. Okay, but if you want your training size should be 80%, then क्या करने का है? Just copy this parameter, go to your Google Colab and just set the parameter as, let's suppose you want as 0.8. Okay, so you can easily change the training percentage and automatically the data will appear, remaining 20% will go for the testing part. Okay, so now machine learning model is become very, very simple. It's just a matter of changing the parameter, setting the parameter for a function called setup. Okay, so now you will find without normalization, I am getting the highest accuracy on Boston data set is 0.84 R-square. Okay, but after normalization, I am getting the R-square value is 0.86, means there is an improvement of 0.02 values. Okay, now, so class, till now, I hope everybody is getting. Kindly write your chat in answer in the chat, yes, no. What if we want to compare the new model? If you want to compare with your new model, then this is your one of the set. You need to apply, you need to run all the models separate, that particular model separately. Then you can compare here. Okay, fine, very good. Now come to step number 2.2. We want to apply feature selection. So class, let me just briefly explain you what feature selection is. So let's suppose you have a data set that consists of 100 features, 100 columns are there. So feature selection is the dimension reduction process. Okay, so let's suppose in out of 100, we select any 20 features, okay, on which we need to build a model so that it will give you the maximum accuracy or accuracy may be improved. So that is known as dimension reduction process. Okay, because let's suppose whenever we are working with the 100 features, and like similarly we are working with the 20 features, so there are a lot of advantage. Number one, model will train fast. This is the biggest advantage. And step number in the next advantage is that whenever we are going to test for the new data set, we need to extract that particular 20 parameter only rather than 100 parameters. Okay, so that is known as feature selection. So now applying the feature selection, what I need to do, feature selection equal to true, and what should be the feature threshold value. So I am choosing the threshold value as 0.9. So basically in the back end, it is using the correlation based feature selection. Correlation based feature selection means, let's suppose there are 4 features. I am going to calculate the correlation of compare with the pair with the every pair. Let's suppose this is feature 1. So I compare with the feature 2, feature 3, feature 4. So if the correlation is equal to 0.9 or greater than 0.9, then you can drop any one of the feature. So that is just a correlation based feature selection. You can also change the feature selection up to 0.8, 0.2, 0.9, but 0.8 is considered as a good one. Okay, so now after applying feature selection, I am getting the accuracy of 0.85. Sorry, R square value is 0.85. Okay, so there is not a very huge improvement in the result. So that is all about the feature selection part. But if you want to apply different feature selection technique, that is not possible with this PyCaret. So this is somewhat limitation. It has provided all the things in a modular way, in just setting the parameters. So there are some restrictions. If we want to apply our own feature selection technique, that is not possible. Okay. Yes. Kindly mute yourself, ma'am. Okay, done. So now come with the next example is 2.3, outlier removal. So class, all these techniques are come up with the pre-processing part, like normalization, feature selection, outlier removal, applying PCA, transformation, and few more pre-processing I will cover. But the thing is that our ultimate objective is to maximize the model performance. That's it. Okay. So now, how to exactly remove the outlier? So first, let me explain what outlier is. I hope most of you know what outlier is, but let me explain with a very basic idea, basic example. Let's suppose there is a class of 100 students. So pocket money of a student and a salary of a teacher. The teacher is automatically an outlier. Okay. So the extreme value that will become in the either side, in the left hand side or in the right hand side. Basically, we want our data should be normalized distributed. Okay. If we plot the histogram, we plot the graph, then our data should be normally distributed. So we normally remove the 5% data set from the right side and 5% from the left side. So class, how exactly we need to select remove underscore outlier equal to true, and what should be the threshold? So I'm choosing 0.05, means 5%. So in the 5%, it will remove the 2.5 from the right hand side and 2.5 from the left hand side. Means 2.5% data will be removed from both the sides. Okay. So now just press Control Enter. So class, here I am just using two-step process. I am setting the parameter and I am calling the compare models. Okay, because data reading is the same process. So I'm using my Boston data set for all the examples. So class, you will find my R square values come to 0.87. And now this time my model is GBR. Okay, so this is all about the how to apply pre-processing, how to apply outlier removal. Otherwise, if you are going to implement manually, then you need to write the program for all these pre-processing techniques. Okay, you need to write a program for feature selection, you need to write a program, again a small code for normalization, again you need to write the program for outlier removal. So all these things now become very simple through PyCaret. Okay, so now I hope everybody is understand. So please write in the chat yes, no. Samir, I already mentioned ki how to choose the train size. So I explain in step number 2.2. Not in 2.2, 2.1. Yes, if you go to the manual part and search for setup function, there is a setup function and by default is 0.07. Okay, so just copy and paste and you can change that train size also. Okay, perfect. Nice audience. Thank you very much. Now move forward, come to step number 2.4. Transformation. So class, if you want to apply transformation, now before moving transformation, let me explain what transformation is. So let's suppose you have one column and that contains 1000 values and all the values are lies between 1 and 100. Okay, means 1.10, 1.10, 9.6, 19.6. So 1000 values and all the values are defined between 1 and 100. Okay, so now what exactly I did, I choose the values from 1 to 25 as 1, 26 to 50 as 2, 51 to 75 as 3, and 76 to 100 as 4. So I transform all my data into 4 values only. Okay, so means this is one of the example of transformation. So what I did here, I make transformation as true and transformation method. So there is a transformation known as Yeo-Jonsson. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so class, I applied transformation as true and transformation method as Yeo-Jonsson. Now, if you want to know what transformation method is, other transformation method is available, so just go to the manual part, search for setup, and where is transformation? Just wait. Let me copy the transformation. Copy, Control F, Control V. So transformation by default is false. We make it as true, and Yeo-Jonsson method is there. Okay. Now, if you find again explaining, find out the what is the different other parameter is there. So transformation is there. So class, this is the thing. Yeo-Jonsson method is there. I think it uses only one. It uses only one type of parameter, one type of transformation, Yeo-Jonsson only. Okay, no issues. So now press Control Enter, and you will find after applying transformation, I am getting my R square values reached to 0.88. Again, the model is same. This is the way we are improving our model performance. So class, no matter is how we need to perform and which operation we need to perform, but our ultimate objective is to maximize the performance of the model. Okay. Now, this is all about 2.4 transformation. Next is 2.5 PCA. So PCA is nothing but the principal component analysis. Again, it is a dimension reduction technique. Now, let me explain with some example. Let's suppose you have a data set that consists of 10,000 columns, not rows, 10,000 columns. Okay. So no model in the world that handled 10,000 models. It is a too huge. Okay. So PCA we use PCA in the earlier time whenever we are dealing with the image processing. So because we need to convert the n dimension image to 1 by n square dimension, means we need to convert in a single row. So that will create a 10,000 number of columns. Okay. So PCA exactly did, they merge all the features and they produce 3 or 4 or 5 components. Component is nothing but the features. But internally, how exactly they calculate? They use eigenvalues, eigenvectors, and they come up with the 5 features or 6 features. Okay, so that is the basic role of PCA. Now we want to know what should be the effect of applying the PCA on this data set. What is the performance? How exactly my model will perform? So class, I make PCA is true, and you will see my R square values come to 0.29, means all the models are performed very, very low, very, very poor performances for all the models. So means PCA will not good for my model performance. Okay. Next, come up with 2.6. Let's suppose we want to apply 2 operations simultaneously. So outlier removal and normalization. Okay, so these are the 2 steps that we want to apply in a single go. So क्या करने का है? We need to first apply outlier removal equal to true. What should be the threshold for outlier removal? And then we need to pass the parameter for normalization. Okay, so class, it is very simple. Just passing the parameter, so that will be both the operation will run simultaneously. So now after applying outlier removal and normalization, you will see again I am getting my R square values 87. So class, till now I am getting the maximum accuracy after applying the transformation only, and we are getting the R square values 0.88. So means that should be the best pre-processing technique we should go with. Now again come to 2. We are done with the 2.6. How to apply outlier removal and normalization simultaneously. Similarly, come to 2.7. Outlier removal, normalization, and transformation. We want to apply 3 pre-processing technique in a single go. So क्या करने का है? Outlier removal equal to true, outlier का threshold, normalization equal to true, normalization method, again similarly transformation equal to true, and transformation method is there. Okay, so now after running all these pre-process, you will clearly see my performances come to 0.887. So this is the highest performance after applying 3 pre-processing technique. The model is same, GBR model is there. Okay, so class, this is the way we can just apply the pre-processing in a single go in a very easiest way. Okay, so now this is all about the, if you want to know more about the setup, so come to 1.4 and directly go to this link for the regression, and you can explore the setup functions. There are several parameters explained in detail. Okay, so they may be helpful for you how to improve the performance using setup function. Okay, so class, this is all about the regression part 2. So now there are some more things, small things that is left with the regression left. How exactly we need to build a single model? How exactly we need to save the model? Let's suppose we want to make the deployment, because this comparative study 2.7, if you explore this comparative performance study, will tell us what should be the which is my best model. Okay, so now after finding the best model, how exactly you need to make it available for the deployment? How exactly we need to use that model for my future predictions? Okay, that we need to do. So class, I will cover this small session in the next part. So I am just winding this session here only, and in the next part I am going to cover this remaining part of the regression, and classification part. So if you have any question, query or doubt, you can ask me. Difference between feature selection and PCA. So feature selection is, we need to select, let's suppose 100 features are there. We need to select the particular column, particular features. Let's suppose out of 100, I selected 20 features only. And that 20 features are not pre-processed, means value is original value. But in a PCA, okay, in PCA, they will merge, they will apply some mathematics, PCA eigenvalues there, eigenvectors are there, and they generate the new 5 features. So the originality of the feature after applying the PCA, originality will be lost. But feature will reduce to 5 only. So means, let's suppose you have a data set of 1000 dimensions. So they will reduce to 3 dimension or 4 dimension or 5 dimension. So that is the ultimate objective of the PCA. Okay. So class, thank you very much. Tiwari. So there is a break of, I think, 15 minutes. So let's meet at 11:45. Then we will rejoin again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tiwari. Thank you.
Thank you for everyone for this session. And we will continue in the next session. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
everyone. Next session we will start at 11:45.